You did not find this video by accident. Something in you is waking up. Something invisible yet deeply real is drawing you toward a new layer of perception. This moment is not random. It is aligned, it is precise, and it is asking you to pay attention. Because people who are not ready do not find content like this. They scroll past it. They never feel called to stop and watch. But you did. Why? Because something inside you is vibrating at a different frequency. Even if you do not fully understand what that means yet, you can feel it. Maybe it has been subtle. Maybe it has been a quiet inner restlessness. A sense that there is more to life than what your five senses can capture. A feeling that something bigger is happening behind the curtain of the ordinary. This is your invitation to lift the veil. You may have noticed signs lately, repeated numbers, vivid dreams, unexplainable synchronicities, or perhaps a growing discomfort with superficial conversations, distractions, and empty routines. These are not coincidences. They are signals. Markers that your consciousness is shifting, that your soul is entering what we call the quantum transition zone. And it all begins when you are finally ready to see beyond the illusion. There are many layers to reality. Most people live their entire lives within the most obvious one, the physical, the predictable, the logical. But some of us begin to feel a crack in that surface. A calling to step into the unknown. That calling is sacred. That calling is real. You have already answered it by being here. This video will not entertain your mind. It will speak to your deeper self, the one who knows, the one who remembers, the one who is here to awaken. Because the moment you choose to open your perception, the universe starts to rearrange everything to meet you. You are not watching this with your eyes. You are watching this with your frequency. And it is your frequency that brought you here. Right now, you are standing at a threshold. The old you may still be trying to hold on, still trying to make sense of what is happening. But the new you, the true you, is already walking through that invisible door. That version of you has clarity. That version of you is not afraid of letting go. If you feel chills or a strange calm as you hear these words, that is your confirmation. You are not imagining this. You are remembering. You are being activated, and you are being invited to go deeper, to move past the noise. To begin aligning with the timeline your soul has been waiting to live. You were guided here for a reason. And the reason is now. When the soul starts calling, reality starts shifting. When the soul begins to call, everything around you starts to shift. Not in loud or dramatic ways at first. The change begins in the subtle. You start to feel disconnected from things that once excited you. The world around you feels slightly out of sync, like it no longer fits who you are becoming. And that is because your frequency is no longer matching the life you used to live. This is what we call the quantum transition zone. It is a sacred space between who you were and who you are becoming. A space where reality begins to loosen its grip and new possibilities quietly emerge. It is not a comfortable place. It is not meant to be. You are being stretched, awakened, stripped of illusions. You may feel confused, lost, or even broken. But what is really happening is that your higher self is taking the lead. The part of you that knows your true path is gently, and sometimes forcefully, moving you toward alignment, toward truth, toward power. And when this happens, your old life cannot remain the same. Jobs fall away, relationships shift, priorities dissolve, because your soul is rearranging everything to prepare you. Most people resist this process. They think they are losing control, but you are not losing control. You are remembering that you never had to control anything, you only needed to allow. The universe works in energy, not effort. And when your internal frequency begins to shift, your external reality has no choice but to follow. You will start noticing that things you used to chase begin to show up with ease. But not because you tried harder, because you became different. Your consciousness shifted, your vibration expanded, and your soul started speaking louder than your fear. In this transition zone, old fears resurface so they can be released. You may feel like everything is falling apart, but look closer. What is actually happening is that the false layers of your identity are being peeled away. You are being invited to operate from a deeper knowing, a higher truth, a place where logic cannot reach, but your spirit recognizes as home. You are not being punished, you are being refined. And your discomfort is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of activation. You are no longer asleep, and your soul will not let you return to the way things were. You are being pulled toward your highest timeline, not because you need to achieve something outside of you, but because you are finally aligning with what has always been inside you. This is the process of metamorphosis, and it cannot be rushed. It can only be surrendered to. So if your life feels upside down right now, take a breath. You are not alone. You are exactly where you are meant to be. The soul always whispers before it speaks. And right now, it is speaking loud and clear. Between faith and frequency, the state of inner certainty, there is a difference between wishing and knowing, between hoping something happens and feeling it as real before it even arrives. This is where most people get stuck. They want to believe, but their energy is still rooted in lack, in separation, in waiting. But the quantum field does not respond to words or desires alone. It responds to frequency. And your frequency is not what you say. It is what you feel, what you embody, what you radiate in silence. This is why faith is not passive. It is not a blind hope that something outside of you will come and fix your life. True faith is a frequency of inner certainty. It is the deep, unshakable knowing that what you desire already exists in the field, and you are already becoming the version of yourself who receives it. That knowing collapses time. It moves things faster than ever could. Because the universe responds to coherence, and coherence begins inside. You might still be waiting for proof, but the paradox is this. The proof comes after you become the frequency of what you desire, not before. Most people are stuck in reverse. They want to feel confident once they succeed. They want to feel safe once they have the money. They want to feel loved once they are in a relationship. But that is not how it works. You must feel it first, believe it first, align first. Then the reality will mirror that truth back to you. The quantum field is a mirror. It does not give you what you want. It gives you what you are. This is why your internal state is everything. You cannot fake it. You cannot manipulate it. You either are in alignment or you are not. And that is why most manifestations fail. People think they are doing the right rituals, the affirmations, the visualizations, but underneath there is doubt, there is fear. There is a subtle energy of this might not work, and the field responds to that frequency. So how do you shift into real certainty? You go beyond the mind. You drop into presence, into stillness. You stop trying to force the outcome and instead become the person who already lives inside that outcome. You ask yourself, if I truly believe this was already done, how would I feel right now? How would I act? What decisions would I make? And then you live from that state, not once, but over and over until the old energy dissolves and the new one becomes natural. This is not about pretending, it is about remembering. You are not creating your future from scratch. You are aligning with a timeline that already exists. One where you are whole, powerful, loved, and abundant. That timeline is not waiting for you, it is calling you. And the bridge between here and there is certainty, not the kind that begs, the kind that declares, not the kind that waits. The kind that walks forward as if it is already done, because in truth, it is. Frequency aligns, the world obeys. Everything around you is responding to you, not to your words, not to your goals, but to your frequency, the way people treat you, the opportunities that show up, the obstacles that appear or disappear. All of it is a reflection of the signal you are sending into the field. When your frequency shifts, your world reconfigures itself. It is not magic, it is physics. And the field is listening all the time. Most people try to change the world with action. They hustle, they push, they chase, but their inner frequency remains the same. They do not feel worthy. They do not feel powerful. They do not feel safe. And so their world continues to reflect that, struggle after struggle, block after block, because effort without alignment is like rowing against the current. It exhausts you, but it does not get you far. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine stepping into the energy of deep certainty, inner peace, and alignment. Suddenly, things begin to flow. You meet the right person at the right time. An idea appears that solves a problem. A door opens where before there was only a wall. This is not coincidence. This is coherence. The moment you become internally aligned, the external world obeys that signal. The universe is intelligent. It does not need to be convinced. It simply mirrors. If you emit fear, it will give you more reasons to fear. If you emit lack, it will show you more lack. But if you embody wholeness, abundance, and peace, it will adjust everything to match that state. This is the law of resonance. And it does not fail. But frequency is not about pretending. You cannot fake peace while your body is filled with tension. You cannot fake joy while your thoughts are filled with doubt. That is why the real work is internal. It is somatic. It is vibrational. It is in your nervous system, your breath, your posture, your emotions. When you shift there, the field responds here. This is why silence is powerful. Meditation is not just a spiritual ritual. It is a tool to recalibrate your frequency, to stop the noise of fear and recenter in truth. The truth that you are not chasing your desires. You are attracting what matches you. You do not need to convince the universe. You only need to become the version of you that no longer doubts. When your frequency is clear, everything becomes easier. Life begins to feel orchestrated. Not because you control everything, but because you are aligned with the greater intelligence that does. You start to walk through life as if it was made for you, because in that state it is. The right people, the right moments, the right answers all begin to show up. That is the reward of alignment, not control, harmony. Your world obeys you, not because you demand it, but because you are in harmony with it. And that is the quiet power of someone who no longer chases, but attracts. Awakening symptoms. What is happening to you now? Something strange is happening to you. You feel things more deeply. People you once resonated with now feel distant. The world seems louder, faster, heavier. Your body reacts to environments it once tolerated. Loud noises, artificial lights, negative people. You feel like you're being peeled open. And maybe you thought something was wrong with you. But what if it's the opposite? What if something deeply right is finally beginning? These are not coincidences. These are the signs of awakening. And they are happening because your frequency is shifting. You are not just a body walking through a world. You are a field of energy interacting with other fields. And when your vibration starts to rise, everything not aligned with that new energy becomes unbearable. This is not weakness. This is clarity. You are waking up from the hypnosis of noise. You might feel more tired than usual. Not because you are lazy, but because your system is recalibrating. You are shedding old patterns, beliefs, and stories. And that takes energy. The body needs rest to process the internal upgrades. So honor your fatigue. It's not a flaw, it's sacred. It means something real is moving inside you. You might cry without warning, not from sadness, but from the release of energy stored for years. Old wounds are surfacing not to hurt you again, but to be healed. Let them come. Let them move. Your tears are cleansing lifetimes of silence. This is not emotional instability. This is emotional rebirth. You may lose interest in things you once loved. Certain foods, habits, or entertainment might suddenly feel wrong. You are not becoming boring. You are becoming tuned. Your system now craves truth, purity, depth. The superficial no longer satisfies. The shallow no longer seduces. You are beginning to crave alignment, not distraction. Synchronicities start appearing. You see repeating numbers, hear the same message from different sources, feel guided in ways you cannot explain. This is not your imagination. This is confirmation. You are connecting to a higher intelligence. One that speaks in symbols, nudges, and energy. It has always been there. But now you are listening. Relationships shift. Some fall away gently. Others erupt and end suddenly. This can be painful, but it is necessary. Your vibration is no longer compatible with old dynamics. Let go with love. Release with gratitude. Trust that new connections, aligned with your truth, will replace what is no longer meant to stay. Your sensitivity increases. To sounds, to lies, to injustice, to beauty. You are becoming a mirror, a radar, a vessel of light that feels the shadow more acutely. Do not numb it. Use it. Your perception is your superpower. You are not fragile. You are awake. These are symptoms of the awakening soul. They are not problems to fix. They are signs that your system is remembering. You are not just upgrading your life. You are upgrading your entire being. This is the birth of a new reality, and it begins inside you. You are starting to live as pure consciousness. There comes a moment in your journey when you realize that you are no longer the same person. You look in the mirror and see the same face, but something behind the eyes is different, quieter, stronger. You begin to sense that the roles you used to play no longer fit. The opinions of others lose their weight. And the old identity, so carefully constructed over the years, starts to feel like a costume you are no longer willing to wear. This is not a breakdown. This is a breakthrough. You are not losing yourself. You are finally meeting who you truly are. And what you are is not a name, not a title, not a list of achievements or failures. What you are is pure consciousness, a witnessing presence, a quiet intelligence behind the thoughts, a vast stillness behind the noise. And when you begin to live from that place, everything changes. You stop chasing approval. You stop running from pain. You stop trying to control what cannot be controlled. Instead, you learn to rest in awareness. to observe your emotions without drowning in them, to watch your thoughts without believing all of them. You start to live not from reaction, but from alignment, not from fear, but from inner knowing. And the world around you begins to shift to match your new vibration. This is the emergence of the quantum self, the part of you that has never been wounded, never been lost, never been separate. It has always been here, waiting for the layers to fall away. The ego resists this process because it fears death, but consciousness knows this is not the end. It is the return. You begin to see the game, the patterns, the programming, the illusions that kept you small. And instead of fighting them, you rise above them. Not with arrogance, but with clarity. You no longer need to prove anything. Your being becomes your message. Your energy becomes your presence. You start to attract without effort, to create without forcing, to speak without needing to convince. People around you may not understand. They may say you've changed, and they are right. You have, but not in the way they think. You have not become someone else. You have stopped pretending. You are returning to your natural state. To live as consciousness is to live in truth. And truth does not shout, it radiates. You notice beauty in the ordinary. Silence becomes nourishment. Solitude becomes sacred. You are no longer lonely because you are at home in yourself. Time slows down. Life feels deeper, more meaningful. You are not in a rush because you know that everything unfolds in divine rhythm. Living as pure consciousness does not mean escaping the world. It means walking through the world without being trapped by it. It means being fully present, fully human, fully alive. And from that space, you begin to create not just a new life, but a new reality. How to program reality with coherent energy. Everything is energy. Your thoughts are energy. Your emotions are energy. Your body is energy. And the reality around you responds not to what you say you want, but to the energy you hold. This is why affirmations without alignment do not work. You can repeat words all day long, but if your energy contradicts them, the universe will always listen to the frequency, not the phrase. Coherent energy means alignment. It means your mind, your heart, and your actions are moving in the same direction. It is when your inner state reflects the reality you want before it even arrives. To program reality, you must first take responsibility for your field. Every moment, you are broadcasting a signal. That signal is made up of your beliefs, your intentions, your focus, and your emotional state. When that signal is chaotic, filled with doubt, fear, or contradiction, the feedback you receive will be equally fragmented. But when that signal is clear, coherent, and unwavering, the universe has no choice but to respond. So how do you become coherent? You start by becoming honest with yourself. What do you truly believe is possible? What are the stories you keep telling yourself? Which ones are keeping you small? Energy cannot lie. If you say you believe in abundance but live in a state of lack and fear, the signal you are emitting is scarcity. Coherence requires congruence. Your inner world must match the outer reality you seek to create. Visualization is powerful, but only when paired with emotion. Feeling is the language of the field. When you visualize your desired reality, you must feel it in your body. The joy, the peace, the certainty. You are not imagining the future. You are remembering who you already are. This is not pretending. This is aligning. You are instructing the field with clarity, and the field will mirror back that clarity through people, events, and synchronicities. Breath is another key. When you breathe with awareness, you regulate your nervous system. You calm the noise. You create space for higher intelligence to flow. Stillness is not emptiness. It is the fertile ground where coherent energy is born. In that space, your intentions carry power. Your words become precise. Your energy becomes magnetic. Coherence is also living in integrity. Do your choices reflect your vision? Do your actions align with your truth? You cannot deceive the field. It is always listening. When you act with courage, when you choose growth over comfort, when you speak with honesty, the field shifts in your favor. Life begins to open. Opportunities appear. The right people cross your path. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a transmitter, a creator, a bridge between the invisible and the visible. Your energy programs reality whether you are aware of it or not. So the question is not if you are creating. The question is what you are creating. Coherent energy is your superpower. Use it with awareness, and reality will start to shape itself around your vibration. How to align with your highest timeline. There is not just one future waiting for you. There are infinite timelines, all unfolding at once, all responding to the choices you make now. Your highest timeline is not something distant. It is a version of you that already exists. But to live it, you must become it. You must align your thoughts, your actions, and your energy with the version of yourself that is already walking that path. That is how you shift timelines, not by hoping, not by begging, but by embodying. Every time you choose from a place of fear, you lower your vibration and delay the timeline that is calling you. But every time you choose from alignment, from trust, from inner knowing, you collapse timelines and move closer to your highest expression. This is not magic. This is quantum reality. In the quantum field, the future is not a place you are going to. It is a reality you are magnetizing by the frequency you are holding now. Ask yourself, who am I in my highest timeline? How do I think? How do I act? How do I speak to myself? What choices do I make when I am no longer trying to survive, but ready to expand? Your highest timeline is not about perfection. It is about authenticity. It is about choosing alignment over approval, purpose over comfort, truth over fear. You do not align with your highest timeline by fixing everything outside of you. You align by upgrading everything inside of you. That means letting go of identities that no longer match your growth. That means releasing environments that drain your spirit. That means trusting your intuitive nudges, even when they do not make sense to the logical mind. Intuition is the compass of the soul. It sees timelines your eyes cannot yet see. There will be resistance. Every time you get closer to your highest path, the parts of you that are afraid will rise. The ego will try to keep you small. Old patterns will scream for your attention. That is normal. That is proof you are shifting. The discomfort is the shedding of the old self. Do not run from it. Breathe through it. Stand tall in it. Your new timeline is not waiting for the perfect moment. It is waiting for your decision. You align with your highest reality by becoming non-negotiable with your energy. You no longer chase. You attract. You no longer beg. You allow. You no longer shrink. You expand. And in doing so, life begins to match your new frequency. Opportunities arrive that feel meant for you. Doors open without force. The universe responds to clarity, and clarity comes from inner alignment. You are always one decision away from a different reality, but that decision must come from a new version of you. Choose with intention. Act with conviction. And the highest version of your life will unfold in front of you, not as a miracle, but as the natural result of becoming who you were always meant to be. You are part of the collective awakening. You are not awakening alone. As you expand, so do others. As you question, so do many. This is not an isolated journey. It is part of a greater movement, a collective shift in consciousness that has been unfolding silently for decades. Maybe you have felt it your entire life, a quiet knowing that something was off, that there was more to this reality than the world wanted you to believe. That sense was not wrong. It was your soul whispering that you are part of something much bigger than you were told. You were not born to blend in. You were born to remember, to awaken, to lead. And your awakening is not just for you. It sends a signal into the collective field. Every breakthrough you experience becomes a frequency others can access. Every time you free yourself from a lie, a program, a limitation, you make it easier for someone else to do the same. That is the power of the awakened soul. You become a lighthouse for those still lost in the fog. The world you see today is not falling apart. It is being revealed. Old systems are crumbling. Illusions are shattering. Shadows are surfacing. This is not chaos. This is initiation. Humanity is in a birth canal, and like any birth, it is messy, painful, and raw. But birth is not the end. It is the beginning. You are here not just to witness this shift, but to help guide it. Your presence is not passive. It is potent. Your frequency is part of the blueprint for a new earth. Do not underestimate what your healing does. Do not dismiss what your inner work unlocks. The more you return to your truth, the more you pull others into their remembrance. Consciousness is contagious. And right now, you are part of a wave that is rewiring the entire field. The world may try to convince you that you are small, that your awakening is a phase, that your truth is inconvenient. But do not let that voice in. That voice is afraid of your power. Remember this, your awakening is a gift, but it also comes with responsibility to walk in integrity, to speak with clarity, to live in alignment with what you now know. You are not better than others. You are simply aware, and that awareness is sacred. Use it to elevate, not to separate. Use it to love, not to judge. Use it to hold space for those still asleep, knowing that they too are on their own perfect path. This is a collective metamorphosis, and your role matters. Whether you are creating, teaching, parenting, meditating, or simply being, your frequency contributes. Every act of consciousness is a thread in the new tapestry of humanity. So stand tall in your truth, shine without apology, and walk this path knowing you are not alone. You are part of the great remembering, and the world needs exactly what you came here to be. If this message found you, it is because something within you is ready to see beyond what the world has shown you, ready to step out of the illusions you once called reality, ready to remember who you are. Everything you heard here today was not new. It was already within you, waiting to be activated, and now it is. What you do next matters, because awareness without action is just another form of sleep. You did not come this far to stop now. You came to embody, to integrate, to rise. Do not look outside for confirmation. The world will not always validate your growth. The path of awakening is rarely understood by the masses, but that is why it is powerful. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be aligned. You are not here to be accepted. You are here to be authentic. And in that authenticity, you will attract others walking the same path. You will find your soul family. You will recognize them not by appearance, but by frequency. They too carry this inner knowing, this pull to something higher, this refusal to shrink. The world needs awakened beings now more than ever. People who are not afraid to see clearly, people who are willing to heal deeply, people who lead by example, not by force. And that includes you. You are more powerful than you were taught to believe. You are more divine than any system dared to show you. You are not separate from the source. You are an expression of it, a walking extension of creation. And your life is meant to reflect that truth. No more waiting, no more doubting, no more hiding behind old versions of yourself. It is time to walk as who you are becoming. Speak the truth that shakes your voice. Follow the path that calls your soul. Release what no longer resonates. Create what your spirit longs to express. You are not here to survive. You are here to transform, not someday. Now, every day, choose to live from the inside out. Let your vibration lead. Let your alignment guide every decision. Ask yourself often, does this serve who I am becoming? And if the answer is no, let it go. Trust that what is meant for your highest good will never require you to betray yourself. Trust that the universe is not testing you. It is training you, preparing you for everything you asked for. So take a deep breath. Feel the shift that is already happening. Know that this moment was a marker, a turning point. And from here on, nothing is the same. You have seen too much, felt too much, awakened too much to ever go back. And that is a blessing, because the only direction now is forward, into your truth, into your power, into the life that was always waiting for you to remember it. Welcome to your next level. If this message resonated with you, subscribe now to stay connected with the energy that awakens you. Like this video to anchor this frequency in your field. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a transmission that your spirit needs. And comment below, I am the frequency. Let the universe hear your voice. You're not here by chance. You're here to rise and remember who you truly are.